Good afternoon. Uh, First, I'd like to thank Dr. Malak and the organizing committee for inviting me to this meeting. This is the first time that I'm attending the network meeting. So for the last couple of years, we have been discussing with the staff of Bahir Dar University on different ways of establishing a center which is dedicated to health and nutrition. Today, I'll give you a short introduction and an update on the status of this project. So the title of my short presentation today is Establishment of a Nutraceutical Research and Development Center at Bahir Dar Institute of Technology. But before I go into the subject matter, I'd like to share with you a couple of Bahir Dar University slides from over 60 years ago when I was a student at the institute. As you recall, Bair Dar University started first as a high school, recruiting students from 8th grade to 12th grade. And I am one of those batch of students. At the time when I attended the school is called Polytechnic Institute. It was later upgraded to a junior college and started taking students from 10th grade and then 4 years program. And at the time, even though it is a high school, a lot of dignitaries from different countries used to come and visit. Before I show you that, this is the same building today, and it's, as you see, labeled as Bair Dar University instead of Polytechnic here on the first slide. So Emperor Haile Selassie and Queen Elizabeth II also visited Bahir Dar because of Lake Tana, the Blue Nile River, and all historic places in the area, so Gondar being very close by. A lot of dignitaries used to come and visit the university, and one of them is Queen Elizabeth II. Here is a picture of the Queen. She was young at the time, and with Emperor Haile Selassie. First place I came was just to see the Blue Nile Falls, and which is only like maybe 4 or 5 miles, as I recall, from the university. But on their way, they also came to Bahir Dar University now, which is Polytechnic Institute then, to visit, and I had an opportunity to escort them and show them the chemistry, industrial chemistry department at the time. This is a slide of the first yearbook of the institute, and it was published in 1967. I was luckily one of the editors with Professor Hailu Araya. As you recall, he became a professor at Addis Ababa University later on. He used to be our high school English teacher at Bair Dar. And here is another picture. I was with the emperor, and as you could see on the slide, I have a jacket which has an emblem on it, and this emblem is the one from our Polytechnic Institute, and so shows me that I was proud of my roots from Poly days. So now let's go back to the subject matter, and which is the establishment of a Nutraceutical Research and Development Center at Bahir Dar Institute of Technology. So first, let's go to the definition of nutraceutical. It is a foodstuff such as fortified food and dietary supplements that provide health benefit in addition to, of course, its basic nutritional value. In terms of commercial value of nutraceuticals, you see the market of this area. In 2022, about 2 years ago, it exceeds 400 billion US dollars. And that amount is growing at a rate of 4.5% every year. And in 2032, in the coming 6 years or so, it's expected to rise to around 680 billion. And about 30% of this market is here in the United States of America. So it has a big benefit if we develop that area of research and products in Ethiopia. The kind of expertise required for R&D in this field is quite diverse. It requires a multidisciplinary field and a diverse set of expertise to work in this area. For example, to do research, you need chemists, you need biologists, biochemists, dietitians, food science and technologists, pharmacologists, veterinarians, and computer scientists. To do the development part, you need epidemiologists, regulatory people, some clinicians, and statisticians and quality control assurance people. So because of this, the first area we are focused on is in assembling this team at the institute at Bair Dar University, and combine all this expertise in the Bair Dar Institute of Technology. So for this, we selected about 8, actually 9 now, because we had added one more person. And as you could see, I'm a medicinal chemist myself. The university has a food technology department, so we have people from there. Abawa Ayele is one of them. And from food science and nutrition, we have Hirot. And also we have a few others from public health, biochemistry, and food technology. So we have the initial group of talent in the university. Currently, the champion of this project at the institute is Abawa, who is running and all the activities and coordination for this program. So you may ask, why are we interested to build this center? Of course, I did show you the definition, and I showed you how big the market is. And Ethiopia is quite an ideal place for this kind of research because it has got a very rich biodiversity. It has also a very diverse cultural heritage. Ethiopia has got greater than 80 ethnic groups, and all of them with diverse foods, which could be developed into quite beneficial health products. At the same time, there is no systematic exploration done in Ethiopia so far, as we know. So this proposed Nutraceutical Research and Development Center can uniquely position Bair Dar University as an expert center in the field of food and nutrition, biology, biochemistry, pharmacology, and related disciplines. The university already has these branches, so by establishing this institute or center, we are combining all this together to focus and build an area of benefit to the country. It aligns very well with the Ethiopian government's effort to promote healthcare in a very doable fashion with very indigenous products from the country. I'd like to show you some historic facts about this area and some especially references. Like Senate is an Ethiopian science book, which is first published by Dr. Ermias Danye when I was a part of the faculty in Addis Ababa University in 1980, 78, 79. And also Professor Pancras has published a book where he put together all the medical history of Ethiopia, including all its food products and medical history. And very recently, Dr. Fakado Folas has published a book. It's only about 3 months ago, and all Ethiopian traditional medicinal plants, including food products, also are included in here. So these are just sample examples how Ethiopia is really a beneficiary of all this knowledge of the past, which we can use in promoting the health of its public. So the vision and the mission of this Nutraceutical Research Development Center, NRDC, is shown here. Its vision is to become a leading nutraceutical research and development center in Ethiopia and even in Africa in the future, and to promote health and the well-being of the country. And also we want to promote the industry in the country. So far, this industry is not well developed at all. We have some pharmaceutical companies, but no nutraceutical companies in the country. So its mission is to establish a state-of-the-art and research center, a lab at Bair Dar University, to advance innovation and knowledge and dissemination of knowledge in the field. And also we like to use this center to foster partnership within industry in Ethiopia, with the government, and also even international organizations doing similar kind of research and development. So the goals of the institute is summarized here again. First is to build infrastructure, which means to build a lab facility, and to research and innovation, meaning that to conduct cutting-edge research in food science and related to health, to capacity building, which is training by giving courses in the field of nutraceutical, and collaborate and develop partnership, and knowledge dissemination. These are the whole goals of the institute. So these are the various research areas we are planning to do, and functional foods and development is one area. I'll not go through all of them. Gut microbiota and nutrition therapy, this is one area which is really developing now globally, and so we like to develop this. And also we like to build a dietary intervention method for aging and age-related diseases. And we like to study nutrient and drug interaction in this institute. And we like also to develop research animals. The reason is to do our research, we don't have several rat and mice models in the country. So since the food department is really positioned very well to develop a research animal diet, which is really very expensive to import from another country. So now I like to go and show you some examples of current projects. First few that we are doing at Addis Ababa University already in nutrition department, and then what we have already initiated at Bair Dar University. So Daniel Kibret has already completed his PhD research at Addis Ababa University with me. He's in the Department of Food and Nutrition Department. He completed his studies on the evaluation of fenugreek, which is called abish in Ethiopian in Amharic, and green coffee, which is not roasted, which is bunna, of course. So his research topic is extracts of and anti-diabetic agents of fenugreek and green coffee. Lemesa Debella is another student at Addis Ababa University who his proposal is already completed, and the subject matter is evaluation of moringa, which is a plant growing in Ethiopia for Alzheimer's disease and to improve cognition. So where are these products coming from in Ethiopia? Now, if you see this is a map of Ethiopia, so if you see the first one, abish is grown in Gojam region in is very well cultivated there, and it's distributed throughout Ethiopia. And coffee comes from the southern Oromia region, and you see moringa, it comes from the southern Ethiopia region in Arba Minj area. And we found that people consume moringa stays senile and active in their old ages. That's why this research is initiated. Now, if we come to Bahir Dar, then we have already approved a new project is approved by the university, which is spearheaded by Mr. Abawa Ayala. So the objective is evaluate the efficacy of siljo, which is consumed in Ethiopia, and formula B, which is a combination of various food products, nutrition products. And we like to evaluate this in vitro and in vivo study in rat models. So Abawa is going to take this as his PhD project, and this is already approved by the university. So you may ask, why are we interested in diabetes and obesity? Especially obesity is not a big problem in Ethiopia. So the purpose is shown in the next few slides. Diabetes is a disease which is really has a big epidemic globally, and it's a high glucose level in the blood. And there are various types of diabetes called type 1 and type 2, and even type 3. And there are quite several drugs in the market, but none of them are really as completely efficacious. So also at the same time, those drugs are coming from chemicals, so we like to replace that with food products. So if you see its distribution in the world, in 2000 there are 33 million people diabetic in the world. Now that number is already growing to almost 67 billion. So it's really a disease which is growing in number. Even in Ethiopia, that number is growing. About 5.7% of adult patient population in Ethiopia are now reported to have diabetic. So it's an important disease area, and at the same time, it has a lot of comorbidities, meaning that if you have diabetic, you could be obese, you could have diseases related to cholesterol, hypertension, heart disease, kidney disease, cancer, mental disease, and sleep disorder. So if you control diabetes, you can control most of all these diseases. So that's why we chose this research. In terms of its market, in 2019, it's greater than $65 billion spent for diabetic medications. In 2 years, 2026, that number is going to double to 160. So there's a huge market there. And also in Ethiopia, it's one of the 4 top diseases in the country. And so that's why. If you take obesity, even though there is no big obesity issue in the country, there's a big market. For example, just one drug alone, which is called Ozempic, which is produced by a company called Novo, sells for $14 billion last year. As you remember, the Grand Ethiopia Renaissance Dam cost $5 billion. So this is like 3 times that much. So by developing this kind of nutrition product in the country and maybe selling in the country and exporting to other countries, so it could be a big revenue generator for the country. So this is probably all I wanted to say in terms of introducing the project. But before I conclude, I'd like to bring to your attention that we really need your help in various ways. We need financial assistance. The university has already opened an account in the Commercial Bank of Ethiopia, so you can directly send it to the university account. And you can help us by delivering various lectures. For example, a couple of professors have already promised to give lecture next September in the nutrition department. And you can also help us in your area of expertise in research advising. You can also find a way to donate equipments and computers and lab equipment and furniture. That will be, and also we need people who can help us in grant writing so that the university and the department can get funding for the project that we started. So with this, I like to conclude my presentation. I'd like to thank you for your attendance and on this presentation. Thank you very much.